Hi, I'm Luca Congedo and you're watching From JS to Remote Sensing. I'm very pleased to announce the release of the new version 6 of the semi-automatic classification plugin for QJS. I've added several new functions such as clustering for supervised classification. I've also improved the interface. In particular, I've added the possibility to create multiple band sets. This is a major improvement that allows for the calculation of spectral distances between band sets, the mosaic, and much more. Please note that this version works only in QJS 3. So let's have a look at this new version. So a brief overview of the semi-automatic classification plugin functions from the download of products, the preprocessing, the raster calculation, the band processing, the classification and the post-processing, and the option of creating a batch process. Here we can see the interface with the SCP Dock, the SCP Dock of the new version 6 Greenbelt. Here we have the main interface with a new layout, in particular the band set creation. We have also all these tools we're going to see in detail later. Here we have the band set definition with the creation of multiple band sets. We can add multiple band sets here with this button. For instance, we can add a few images that I have loaded in QJS with this button. Here I've added these bands to the first band set. Now I can select the second band set and I can add this band set here too. As you can see, I can drag and drop the band sets, so I can order as I wish. You can see here the center wavelength that I have defined quickly, and you can see here the SCP toolbar. The toolbar works with the active band set that you can see here colored in green. For instance, here I can create a color composite. Here we can see natural color composite. I can adjust the color and the stretching of the colors here with this button. This is the color composite of this band set. I've also improved the function of the quick wavelength settings. In particular, here I remove some of these bands, and if I select the satellite here, you can see that the center wavelength is defined according to the number that is the ending number in the name of the image. Here we can see the basic tools. For instance, the RGB list that allows for creation color composites. The algorithm band weight that is useful for selecting a weight for each band. The multiple row creation for creating multiple rows in batch. The tool for importing signatures, spectral signatures from other SCP files, text files or other shape files, or downloading from the USGS spectral library. The tool for exporting signatures to other formats, the tool for setting a signature threshold according to the classification algorithms, and the tool for setting the threshold for the length cover signature classification. Here I'm showing the new download products interface. Here we have the search parameters. I can select the area here Click this button with a left click in the upper left and the right click in the lower right corner, creating this square, defining the coordinates here. I can select the products, the satellites. For instance, I can select this new addition to the products that is a Sentinel-3 image. Then I can click Find. Here I have the list of all the found products. In this table you can find the information, the metadata. Here I can select any item in this table, and you can see here the preview. You can see here this new feature in this new version, which is the preview inside the interface, which is useful for assessing the cloud cover. And if I click this button here, I can display a preview inside the QGIS map. Of course, I also have the options to select which band I want to download for each satellite from Landsat, Sentinel-2 and Sentinel-3 bands. I have also the option to preprocess the images, which is the link to these tools here. You can see Landsat, Sentinel-2, Sentinel-3, Aster, MODIS images. I have also these other preprocessing tools, which is the vector to raster conversion, the clip multiple rasters here. You can see the selection of the input bandset here. The tool for splitting raster bands, the tool for stacking raster bands, selecting an input bandset here. The new tool for creating a mosaic of bandsets. Here you can select a list of bandsets, and this tool will create a mosaic for each band of the bandsets. This other new tool, which is for cloud masking, that is for applying a cloud mask to each band of a bandset. Here we have the tab Band Processing. We have here this tool for creating a combination of bands according to an input bandset. So we select an input bandset, and the output will be the combination of every band in the bandset. Here we have another tool for principal component analysis. Here the input, of course, is a bandset. We have this new tool that is clustering for unsupervised classification. We have here the selection of the input bandset. We can select the method, which is k-means or isodata. We can also set the distance threshold, which is a parameter for stopping the iterations. We can set the number of classes, the maximum number of iterations, and these parameters for the isodata algorithm, the maximum standard deviation and the minimum class size. We can also select the signatures from the band values or from the signature list, or selecting pixels randomly in the image. We can also select the distance algorithm between minimum distance and spectral angle mapping. We have also a new tool that is spectral distance, that allows for the calculation of the distance, the spectral distance between bandsets, according to one of these two algorithms, the minimum distance or the spectral angle mapping. And we can also set a distance threshold for creating a classification, a mask of those pixels below this threshold. Here we have the post-processing tools, starting from the accuracy tool for assessing classification accuracy, length over change for comparing through raster classifications, classification report for calculating statistics about the classification, the cross-classification that allows to compare a classification to a vector or a raster data, the class signature, that is a tool for calculating spectral signatures according to a classification and an input band set. So this can be useful, for instance, if we have a previously created classification and we want to assess the spectral signatures for each class. Then we have the tool for the classification from raster to vector, the tool for the reclassification, this tool for editing directly a raster value according to ROI, a region of interest. Here we also have a specific toolbar, and we have all these filters for classification sieve, for classification erosion, and classification dilation. Here we have this tool, band calc, for the raster calculation between bands and the band set. Here we have the rapid index calculation from this menu. We have also this tool for creating decision rules. Here I can add a rule and the value that is assigned if this rule is verified. Here I have also improved the batch commands. Here we have the list of functions from this menu. We can double click to enter a function. When the text is red, it means that there is a syntax error, and here I have added this line that explains the cause of the error. Here we have the settings of the semi-automatic classification plugin, from the processing settings, in particular from the playing sound when finished and raster compression. I have added this option, the SMTP process notification, that is useful for sending an email to a list of emails here, that we can enter here, when a plugin process is finished. Also we have here this very useful parameter that is the run settings, and I recommend to improve these settings according to system memory. Here we have the interface options, and here I have also improved the debugging tool. Here we can activate the recording of the events in the log file. And here I have added this table where we can directly read the log file. Here we can see the SCP Dock with this modified interface. You can see here this tab, this vertical tab, with the home, with the news about the plugin, these buttons that can open the main interface and the main tools here. We have also the training input tool, which is required for creating a training input here. We have here the right signature list with all these buttons for managing the spectral signatures and the ROIs, the region of interest. Here we have the commands to set the macro class and the classes, and the tool for saving the ROIs to the training input. Also, we have here the autosave options, this new option that allows to automatically save the spectral signatures and the ROIs in the training input every time a ROI is saved in the signature list. Here we have the macro class list for managing the macro classes. And here we have the ROI options that contain all the options related to the ROI creation. Here, for instance, you can see the option to display the NDVI above the cursor during ROI creation and all these other options. Here we have the classification tool. Here we can select the class or the macro class for classification. We can select the algorithm. We can also choose the length over signature classification as an alternative algorithm. And we can select, of course, the classification output. Here we have the Run button to perform the classification. We have also here these buttons that can open quickly, very quickly, all the tools of the main interface. So this is the new layout of the SCP Dock. And here we have, of course, the SCP menu with the list of all the functions of the plugin. So let's see an example of the use of these multiple band sets. I'm creating here a band set, loading these images. Sentinel-2 bands, so I'm setting here the center wavelength. So here I've created the band set 1. So I'm going to the band processing. I'm selecting this tool for the principal component analysis. I'm clicking run and I'm creating the principal components of this image. So now I'm creating a new band set here. I'm adding a new band set with this button. And I'm adding the first 3 components to the band set 2. So here I have the second band set with the principal component analysis bands. Now I'm creating a training input here. Now I can display the band set of the principal component analysis. Here we can see all these colors. Of course, the principal component highlights all the differences in the pixels. And now I'm creating a region of interest with the region growing algorithm. Here you can see I can increase the distance value. So I'm creating a region of interest using the principal component analysis bands. Here, the band set 2. But now I'm switching to the band set 1, so I can calculate the spectral signatures of this ROI according to the Sentinel-2 bands. So here we have the spectral signature of this ROI geometrically created with the principal component bands and the spectral signature of the Sentinel-2 image. So this can be useful for creating particularly homogeneous signatures. Here you can see that I can create a color composite of this band set, and here you can see that these color composites are visible in the QGIS map. I can see here the virtual rasters. So the tools of the toolbar work on the active band set. The band set that is highlighted in green So let's see another example of working with multiple band sets. Here I have two band sets, band set 1 and band set 2. With these two Landsat 7 images, here we can see these two images. Now I'm going to the Preprocessing tools and selecting the tool Mosaic band sets here. Here I can set the band set list, and of course in this case I have already set the band set 1 and band set 2. So here I can of course set an output name prefix, and here I can create a mosaic of these two images simply clicking the Run button here. I can select a directory where the output bands are saved, and after the process, here you can see these are the color composites of the original images, and here we have the mosaic for each band of the band sets. So here we have the mosaic for the band 1, and here we have the color composite of the mosaic. So here you can see that every band is now a mosaic, and we can use this mosaic for classification or other processing. This is just a brief overview of the new functions of the Semi-Automatic Classification plugin version 6 that will be released on the 22nd of January 2018. I'm going to write several tutorials about these new functions. For any comments or questions, please join the Facebook group or the Google Plus community. Thank you for watching.